And I just wanted the stress of life generally to stop. I couldn't see a way to make it better. I couldn't see it. And on Sunday the 7th of January, 2018, instead of marking the year 11 mock papers that I'd spent half an hour, instead of marking them, I had to mark them in bed. I just spent half an hour rocking in the fetal position on my spare bed. Hi team, welcome to the Mind First podcast. My name is Chris Misselbrook, and this podcast is a place where I can openly share my mental health journey with the intention of supporting others to prioritize theirs. I'm a wellness coach for teachers, nurses, and doctors who need to overcome stress and avoid burnout. I'm also a first aider for mental health and a first aid mental health instructor, as I'm passionate about changing the way we perceive our own and others' mental health and our mind fitness. In turn, reducing our own stigma towards mental health. In this episode, I share how I was forced to accept teacher burnout when I spent half an hour in the fetal position, rocking on my spare bed. I hope you enjoy the episode. So on the 1st of October, 2017, at 3:50 p.m. in the afternoon, I had my appointment at the doctor's. And if you listened to the episode before, you'd know that that was where we left off. Making the phone call for that appointment was so hard. And in some way, it felt like I was failing by making that phone call, having the doctor's appointment. Why could I not cope with everything? Am I not good enough? I felt like I should just crack on and sort things out. But there was another side of me that felt an enormous sigh of relief. I felt like I was starting to take a bit of control back. My opening line to the doctor, though, was classic. Before we start, I just want to say, I don't want you to sign me off. What a knob. So obviously she didn't, but I needed it. But she did reassure me. She told me how over 30% of her appointments are linked to mental health of working professionals, and that most of those are either teachers, police, doctors, or nurses. The feeling that I was not alone made me instantly better. Having described my thoughts and feelings, along with my professional and personal responsibilities, my doctor, Dr. P, diagnosed me with a syndrome called occupational burnout, also referred to as teacher burnout, doctor burnout, whatever it might be. And I was totally unaware at this point that this was a medical condition, but the symptoms matched exactly what I shared with the doctor. Although at this point, I failed to admit to myself that I was really unhappy with my life at the time. I was looking for a way to cope with life, and at this point, and I guess I didn't realize how unhappy I was, because it had been just such a slow decline that I'd come to accept my circumstances. This is what life is now. She explained how serotonin, the antidepressant I was on, serotonin generally, so it wasn't the antidepressant, but my levels were really low, and this was contributing to the foggy feeling that I was experiencing in my mind, plus the chronic tiredness and the social distancing. The citalopram, so antidepressant pill that she prescribed me, it would help me to top up my serotonin levels and start to help me to find emotional balance. And the next day, I felt like a huge weight had been lifted from my shoulders. I informed my line manager at school, and this is funny. I said to him I was struggling with my workload and prioritizing, and that I'd gone to the doctors on antidepressants. And often when I had time to do work, I would sit in front of the computer and flip from one thing to the next. And I found it really, really hard to focus on one task at a time. I was just sort of task flipping, task switching. And he was understanding. He supported me where he could. So although a weight had been lifted, this was only the weight of accepting that I needed help. The actual workload didn't reduce. And in fact, and this is the funny thing, I started working more. I started working more at weekends to plan my teaching week so that I could cope, so that during the week I could focus on the leadership tasks and worry less about teaching. Although I was stressed with work, I was starting to cope and I thought I was doing okay. However, I was questioning whether I wanted to continue to be in teaching, and I was thinking about alternative jobs. I said this in the first episode. It's actually hard to really remember how I was feeling from the September in 2017 to December. And in many ways, I was just drifting through, not really noticing what was actually around me. I felt like a passenger in my own life. I returned after Christmas, the Christmas break in 2017, now it's 2018, and I just felt sick with anxiety. And on the first day back, I had to leave on Friday. I was the second day back, I think. But I had to leave as I needed to escape the school. I finished my teaching day and I just had to get out. I'd never felt like that before. And I just wanted the stress of life generally to stop. I couldn't see a way to make it better. I couldn't see it. And on Sunday the 7th of January, 2018, instead of marking the year 11 mock papers that I'd spent half an hour, instead of marking them, I had to mark them in bed, and I just spent half an hour rocking in the fetal position on my spare bed. And it was this specific moment when I accepted that I was ill. I went downstairs and broke down to my wife and my dad and my mum, and I phoned in sick on Monday. I made an appointment to see the doctor. I saw a different doctor this time, and who diagnosed me with reactive depression and burnout, but sort of reactive depression was what he said at the time. So he signed me off for a month, and I thought, whoa, a month? That's ridiculous. I spent like 2 weeks or something. But he explained that 2 weeks wouldn't be any longer than normal holiday, so it wouldn't be enough time to recover. And what I didn't say was when I was in the fetal position, I had the suicidal thought that I was talking about in the first episode. So as it turned out, I got to the end of the first month and the anxiety came back, and I then got signed up for another month. So 2 months in total to recover. And even that was a very speedy recovery, according to the therapist who I was working with. My school and colleagues sent me some lovely emails. They're really supportive. And when I shared the news with them, that I had to have some time off, and that really reduced my guilt, the guilt that I had around being signed off. But I'd never have got better or got the love back for teaching unless I had this time off work. And that's really important to, listen to others and get the help you really need. So that's the end of part 2. If you're feeling overwhelmed, though, highly stressed, and do, I keep saying this, but do get in touch with me. Get in touch with me by LinkedIn or Twitter, even if it's just to tell someone else how you feel. If you can't say it to anyone else because you're embarrassed, but I won't judge you. I've been there. I know what it's like. And get the help you deserve. Get the help you need. It's important. I'm here to help. I want to help. That's why I became a coach, a wellness coach. So in the next episode, I'll go in a little bit further about my recovery. But in the meantime, good luck, friends. And remember, you are stronger than you think you are. You're braver than you think you are. And I hope my story has resonated in some way. And if you are feeling a bit shitty, it's help you feel a bit less alone. And more importantly, might empower you to take action. Speak soon, friends. Bye.